Hey man, say man, it's that time once again for me to talk about Four Nights of the Apocalypse. Today it is chapter 249 titled Prayer, just one word. And for the cover image, we see the bull hat, unironically being guarded by two knights of Leonas as people trying to approach the tavern. And yeah, let's not waste time and just get right into it, shall we? So one of the citizens is just like, hey, I'm just trying to get, my pint after a hard day's work. That's all, so real. Another civilian is just like, hey, you soldiers here to drink too? But they explain that they'll have to go to another tavern since the bull hat is being used for a VIP meeting since the castle is still being rebuilt. And the civilians are like, it just seems a bit quiet for there regardless. And we go over to see that the Holy Knights are having a meeting as the Knights of the Apocalypse inform everyone of what had happened in Camelot. And we look at everyone's face. Donnie and Shion in particular, look at them. They are genuinely shocked. Everyone is sweating bullets because they know, man, up against Lancelot, nah, man, this is a long day. Even Gopher and Diane too, with Diane even crying, hearing her nephew had to do something like that. Insane. With Hauser just stating that it is, like essentially the video title of last chapter, the worst possible scenario, worst possible news. With Chion wondering why he of all people would do it, and Donnie just denying it, and Percival still crying about this shit as he states that Lancelot just wanted to protect the woman that he cherished the most. With Hauser wondering if Percival isn't blaming him for turning traitor, and that obviously he'll destroy the world to protect what's vital to him, and that is just contradictory in and of itself, which he's not wrong, and states that sacrificing one life saves the world, then it simply must be done. And Gil is just like, nigga,
man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man.
Diane is even agreeing, saying that that's the reason he still hasn't found a wife. With Hauser just telling her to leave him alone. But it's true. Hauser's essentially the fan base here, especially since he was digging into Merlin and Arthur about this shit. Well, more so Merlin again. And Gopher admits that regardless, Kath is pretty much a walk in the park compared to Lancelot going rogue, which Gawain agrees to it, since no one can imagine a human being in this world who could take on Lancelot, and that if they had fled Camelot a moment later, there was no guarantee that they'd even be alive. With Diane wondering if Lancelot even attacked them, and Gawain just admits no, that he just did nothing but release the magic power within him that he just stored this entire time. And look at this nigga trying to aura farm through this shit. Nigga, your fit is still whack. It's still whack. Nakaba, please upgrade this shit. With Chion telling everyone that they should always consider the worst case scenario. With Balin being, the hard-bodied nigga that he is, he's just like, it sounds very exaggerated that since as strong as he is, he's still just one holy knight, and that he can't imagine he'd grow into that much of a threat. And my man Gareth here reminds this nigga Balin that this is a nigga who was able to beat drugged up PED enhanced, that sentence was redundant because PED means performance enhancing drugs. Anyways, 4 evils, with Balin simply stating, nigga, that makes me want to run the ones with him even more. With Gawain stating that even she doesn't doubt his strength, but Lancelot is just a completely different ballpark. With Donnie also sort of piggybacking on what Balin's saying that, yo, we got a tavern full of powerhouses here. Why don't we just jump the nigga? Take it back straight out of the JJK book. Galahad comes in out of nowhere talking about some nigga, who are you to speak nonsense? With Yasei looking stressed, and look at Longren and Ilwak's reactions make me think that this has happened before, as Galahad continues to glaze his dad talking about something. You never seen Sir Lancelot when he really wants to fight. And then obviously the question is, who the fuck is this nigga? And Gil is just like, why are you so sure of that? With Galahad saying that Lancelot never fights at full power when someone needing his protection is nearby, and that he bears the kind of force that could hurt them just as much as his opponent, which is true. We've seen that's why he always likes to go far away. Let's never forget the battle with Nanash. Then we go to the next page, and I can't lie, this looks kind of rushed, because why all of a sudden is there no color on Diana and Gopher's hair? Like, what's going on, Nakaba? These unfinished panels? But Gopher's just like, okay, regardless of that, there's no avoiding coming to blows with Lancelot, with Hauser stating he's not a knight of prophecy now, and that he's Chaos Lancelot and one attempting to wreck the world. and that they have to defeat him if they need to protect Britannia, with everyone thinking, obviously, like, wait a second. And House is like, if we don't accept that, we'll be the ones dying, which, you know, it's a fair sentiment. Absolutely, it's a fair sentiment. Kill or be killed type of world. These niggas are in before the medieval times. Like the medieval times, if you really look back and look at the kind of shit they was going through and did to themselves, that whole period of time, that shit was the trenches. Britannia is from a time even farther beyond that. These niggas be going through on a day-to-day basis. And then obviously the question of where King was, with Diane stating that he went to go inform Bon and Elaine, which, poor Elaine. First she has to find out that her brother sold the fight and got her husband nearly killed, and next she's gonna find out her son's a traitor. Diane stating that obviously they'll need people here who can fight at least as well as her and Gopher to prepare for Lancelot. Least as well as her and Gopher. Yo, who the hell do you think you are? Who does she? Nah. You know what? No, not today. I'm not doing this today. No. See, Gopher has the mind shit. Okay, I can give him that. But Diane, if I speak, I'm in trouble. That's what I'm gonna say. Gila thanks her for her thoughtfulness, and Tristan asks where Meliodas is at this point. And Diane's just like, nigga, no one's told him? With Gopher stating that with this kind of timing, it's just like, you know, I get it, but still. And Tristan's just like, did something happen? And immediately bolts out, with Gila calling after him. With Yasei asking by Tristan's father, do you mean? And Gwen's just like, yeah, King Meliodas, which seems to shock Yasei for some reason, which is concerning, very concerning. Like, why does this nigga not know anything about his family? Is the Tristan death theory gonna be true? Please, no. Like, no, I don't want these. No, if these niggas keep getting split up, Nakaba, I swear to God. People are trying to stop him as he makes his way, but he's like, nigga, I won't be talking for long, just reporting back. He goes to see Isolde at the front of the chambers, and Isolde doesn't even attempt to stop him. She just starts crying. Tristan goes in to see what's happened to see both Meliodas and Elizabeth, and obviously now finds out about her current state. Meliodas explains that Elizabeth won't open her eyes and likely never will again, and that she tapped into her divine powers despite having a human body to protect everyone in the 7 deadly sins of citizens, and apologizes to Tristan for not being able to protect Elizabeth. And he admits that it's all a void now, and that he has no idea what he should be doing any longer. And it's just, my goat, he did knock up a scissor kick. Oh my, he can't keep getting away with this. Oh my God, this shit got me yelling like Jesse, cause Meliodas has been through so much shit already, and now this nigga admits he just doesn't know what to do with himself. We have never seen him like this. Like, this nigga's spirit is actually broken. He's just in such depression. And I get it, his main eat is never opening her eyes ever again. And without word, Tristan turns and leaves the chambers and just goes out to the castle walls and is like, what should I do after losing my mom and one of my best friends? And it's like I could say that to him, implying that he probably wanted to say this to Meliodas, as he thinks of how Meliodas and Elizabeth shared the same destiny for 3,000 years, and that he couldn't even imagine how much of a presence she was to him. Which is nice. It seems that Tristan understands why Meliodas is like that. Part of me was very afraid that Tristan was gonna sort of lash out at Meliodas for acting pathetic or whatever, but yeah, it's like these two have been together, have gone through so much turbulence and turmoil for 3,000 years, only for it all to just not mean anything now. And Tristan honestly asks Isolde what he should do, and she just simply states that no matter what he decides to do, she will remain his ally to the end and will constantly be at his side. Loyalty. But look at Tristan's face. That is a very, very forced smile. Oh my God. This nigga's going through it. Lost his best friend, lost his mom in the same day. Lost his dad technically. His dad is so depressed he doesn't know what to do with himself. Holy shit. This nigga's life is terrible. And Tristan asks if he can depend on that. And without question, Isolde goes and hugs him as he cries into her. And that's where the chapter ends. Really, wow, man. That's, yeah. This is a good chapter to come back to. Well, it's decent. Can I be so frank and Lampard for a second? I feel like ever since the calf battle, the writing has been very, very subpar in my opinion, because it feels like a whole bunch of this really didn't need to get to this point sort of spiel. Again, I'm gonna blame, this is all King's fault, by the way. This is low-key all King's fault, because if King didn't overglaze Bond the way he did, Cap wouldn't have remembered, oh wait, this nigga's just, you know, a nigga. And you know, making him aged up, he wouldn't have used his chaos things to hold the citizens of Britannia hostage. And even if he tried that again, Bond could have just banished and killed all of them because of his wide range, because he has the widest range out of all of the sins. Like literally all of this stems if King didn't fold. This all literally stems from that, because then they would have been able to take out Kef a lot better, or at least seal him away, something, and he wouldn't have made his way to Camelot and then bargain. Like, this is literally King's fault, and I'm never ever gonna let any of y'all niggas, me included, forget that. This is King's fault. I don't care. But yeah, now to the actual, like, you know, overview of this chapter in general, on my faults, on my additional faults even. Hauser is absolutely in the right here. Lancelot, as stated before, I believe, a lot of us believe now, that Lancelot is pretty much a hypocrite, especially because he was trying to, like I said before, he was on Merlin's top about what she did, unleashing chaos, while lo and behold, a couple minutes later, he does something that he does for the sake of, I mean, romance. Is this even considered romantic? Ladies, if there are any ladies watching, how would y'all feel about y'all man doing this rather than, you know, save the world? And this is the thing that's pissing me. How many of them were there? They could have jumped Cap. They well and truly could have jumped Cap. Sure, like Galahad said, since his magic is so powerful, unless if there's someone close that needs protecting, he won't use all of it. Sure, but there's no way he thinks, I was about to say no way he thinks that the other knights can't handle it, but as Gawain states here, if they had left a moment later, they'd be dead, because he just simply released all the magic power within him that he just continuously stores, which is insane to think about. If the knights were stronger, then maybe this wouldn't have happened, because they literally could have just jumped Calf as well. They could have jumped Calf and saved Guinevere, because what stopped Galahad from using his ability to steal Calf's senses? Well and truly, we know he can do it to niggas stronger than him because he did it to Lancelot. So well and truly, how I know, you know, they would have made Calf panic a little bit at least, and then, you know, Merlin teleport. Like, just this is just it's frustrating. This frustrating to really think about how we got to this point. This it just doesn't feel satisfying. Balin thinking that, you know, Lancelot isn't all that. Again, to be honest, it would be an interesting match to see Balin versus Lancelot, but Lancelot is pretty clever. So since he was able to discern that Donnie's magic was not making things float but telekinesis, so, you know, he'd probably be able to figure out Invincible pretty quick enough. And Balin himself, he's like, I don't know, man. And then Tristan finding out what happened to his parents as well is just ridiculous, because essentially from this point onwards, he's essentially in charge of Leonis technically, isn't he? Because it's not technically an abdication, but Meliodas literally says he has no idea what he should do. It's just, this is such a messy situation. But again, the concern of Yasei not knowing Meliodas is because, well, a lot of things about his family is concerning, but you know, that will probably be addressed in the future. And like I said, death flags for Tristan, I've always been trying to ignore them. I've never mentioned them. I've been trying to ignore it all this time, but I can't, man. I can't have these. Is it gonna be every time the knights separate, one of them leaves or something, disband, they disband, air quotes, because something happens to one of them? Like, I don't want this rhetoric. I don't want this to happen over and over and over again, because we had it with Percival. With Percival, you actually feel something. There was so much build up for it and foreshadowing as well. Like, you felt genuine emotion seeing Percival go, because you saw how upset he was with himself for merely existing. With this Lancelot one feels so like what's this Hauser said, it's so contradictory. It falls flat. Well and truly, this shit just falls flat. I don't feel anything except frustration and anger at this whole thing happening, because well and truly, this could have been written so much better. It really could have been, like, And so what do we have to expect this from Tristan? Do we expect this from Gawain? Like, even when they get Lancelot back eventually, what will happen to the other two? Like, what's really the purpose? Like, Nakaba, what are you even trying to do here? Because I'm just lost. I don't want to lose one of these. I don't want to lose one of my kids every single end of each act. Well, I don't want to, man. So are we expecting 5 acts? The first act, we lost Percival. At the end of it, we lost Percival. Second act, and around the end of it, we lose Lancelot. Third act, we lose Gawain or Tristan, and the fourth one, we lose whoever. And then the fifth one, they're actually together for. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? We are 249 chapters in. What are we talking about right now? Me getting that off my chest. So taking a look at the steps that the knights will have to take forward, hearing what Galahad said about, obviously it's getting a concern is getting the Holy Knight Grail, so Holy Grail Knights home. That's one thing. Another thing is obviously steps moving forward, weapons drenched in Arthur's blood, so that, you know, they can actually harm Cath. It might help with separating him from Lancelot as well. Another step is obviously the knights, just everyone needs to get stronger. Hopefully, because this feels very Tristan centric now. Obviously he lost his best friend, lost his parents. Hopefully we'll get more development from, well, technically all the knights, but we've seen develop, like I said in my review for chapter 233, I stated how the knights had actually improved a lot after hearing Lancelot's critiques in their fights against the evils. So like, it's not like we haven't seen improvement from them, and obviously Tristan is getting better and better at using his demon powers too. It's just it's not enough. It's not enough, well and truly. These guys need to strengthen themselves a lot, because like Galahad said, since Lancelot doesn't want to use magic power against people who needs protecting, then that means he doesn't feel comfortable enough with the knights. The knights are too weak to be able to withstand Lancelot. They need to get to a point to where at least the 3 of them can be around Lancelot comfortably without any fear of being harmed from his magic too badly. I think that's what we're looking at here at the long term. Because well and truly, if we look at the Knights of the Apocalypse as a group, these niggas are genuinely broken, because they have like two different types of healers, 2 niggas who can either avoid or just straight tank most attacks anyways. They all of the knights now have their own ways of combating against magic. In terms of, Percival has full circular, Tristan full counter, Gawain, she's a mage herself, Lancelot, he can just absorb that shit. They all have the same, like if you really look at them, all these niggas have the same movesets. They have the same movesets, but just translated in different ways. Percival, life and death, Tristan, light and dark, Gawain, physicality and magic, Lancelot, absorption and disintegration. Like, these niggas all have flip sides on their abilities. Like these guys are genuinely a cracked team. Full potential 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are genuinely stronger than the 7 Deadly Sins, and it's not, and it won't be close. Well and truly, it will not be close. But that's besides the point. These niggas need to just come up with a plan, and I think next chapter they will start going over a plan. And I hope this whole experience will just strengthen their resolve. Percival is genuinely upset about all this. Obviously, Gawain, frustration, but yeah, you know, it's just, that's all I have to say really. I ain't got nothing more to say, otherwise it'll just be me rambling emotionally like before. I'm not cutting that shit out. But yeah, check out that Zenda's video I dropped the other last week. I'm not, even if you're not into it, I think that was pretty funny, you know, especially the editing style and all that. But you know, I know y'all see the plugin is up, right? Come on now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, take care of yourselves, have a good one, enjoy the last bits of summer before September hits, and yeah, in a bit.